Most people I know think they watch horror movies to feel scared, but fear alone doesn't explain why audiences keep returning, why they gather in dark rooms, willingly surrender to dread, and walk out somehow lighter. Horror movies might seem like entertainment, but I think you're looking at a ritual. They feel holy because fear, when contained and witnessed, becomes something else, something purifying, communal, and ancient. In every culture, people once gathered around fires to tell stories about spirits, monsters, demons, and the dead. This wasn't an attempt to terrify. These stories were told to cleanse, to remind the tribe of danger, of course, but also of courage, resilience, and the invisible architecture of the world. I think horror films are our modern campfires. There's a moment in every good horror movie where something subtle changes in the nature of the fear. It stops being about the jump scares and becomes something strangely intimate. Your heart opens, your breath deepens, your vision sharpens. You're no longer just scared, you're present. I think this is why mystics often sought fear intentionally. Nights in the desert, vigils in graveyards, pilgrimages alone, not as some kind of punishment, but almost a methodology for awakening. Fear seems to strip the psyche of its distractions. A horror movie does in 90 minutes what monks did in caves. I think exorcism scenes especially hit a primal nerve, not because people believe in demons, but because they recognize the ritual. A group of people confronting the part of a person that wants to destroy them. It's a kind of externalized trauma, externalized grief, externalized rage. The possessed character becomes a symbol of the part of us we avoid, and the ritual, the chanting, the invocation, the demand for truth, that's the therapeutic confrontation we rarely grant ourselves. I think that's why people cry during these scenes. I think that's why they feel something move inside them. Usually, things that are denied expression become monsters, and I think horror gives them a much needed stage. And sometimes people forget horror is physical. Muscles are tense, breath shortens, skin prickles, adrenaline surges. But then there's release, a rush of warmth, a sense of relief, and an unexpected quiet. The cycle mirrors the oldest form of worship, the shaking, trembling, sweating rituals found in Sufi ceremonies, Pentecostal revivals, and shamanic dances. The body rises to a peak, then collapses into clarity. I think horror movies replicate the somatic arc. They let the nervous system finish a ritual it doesn't know how to complete in everyday life. I tend to look at every horror creature as an archetype with teeth. The ghost is unresolved grief. The vampire is hunger without restraint. The zombie is the fear of becoming numb. The demon is the shadow self in revolt. People walk out of horror movies saying, "It wasn't that scary," not realizing the monster they faced was not on the screen. It was inside them. And they survived. Again, what seems like entertainment on the surface, well, it's an initiation. I tend to sound crazy when I say this, and most other things I say, but I think there's something profound about being terrified with strangers. In a theater, no one hides their reactions. People gasp, grab sleeves, exhale in unison. The fear becomes communal. This is exactly what rituals did. Unify emotion. Bind the group through shared vulnerability. Horror movies momentarily dissolve the walls between people. Everyone is small before the same darkness. Everyone laughs afterward for the same reason: relief. Fear shared becomes bonding. It seems like people tend to avoid darkness in real life, whether it's emotional, spiritual, or internal. But in horror, darkness becomes a teacher. It reveals where humans break. It reveals where humans break and where they mend. It shows us how much we deny, how much we bury, how much we underestimate our own strength. And once the lights come back on, the world feels softer, safer, more real. This is the quiet holiness of horror. It returns you to your life more awake than it found you. We don't call horror sacred because we don't have language for secular rituals of fear, but the body knows, the psyche knows. Something in us bows to the experience. The movie ends, the darkness lifts, the breath steadies, and you walk out changed, not dramatically, but subtly, as if some heavy thing inside you has been acknowledged, not cured, not fixed, just seen. That's why horror movies feel holy. Because what the sacred has always done, hold fear, reveal truth, return us to ourselves. Horror does too, flickering in the dark,